So it is a Monday, and that means top of the hour. We got to do hard left, hard right. The thing we got the most right, thing we got the most wrong. And I want to focus on the majority of the NBA season because obviously we've been talking basketball here and there, but football's always going to be dominant during its run. And so to now move on to basketball, the things that we have been the most right and the most wrong up to this point in the NBA season. We're at the All-Star break, the unofficial halfway point because it's not really right in the smack in the middle. But here we are, starting with hard left because let's get the negative out of the way. I was, and this seems crazy now, but I was very skeptical of the Spurs to start the season. And my skepticism of the Spurs came from, is Victor Wembanyama already that guy? Now, we all know the measurable stuff, right? We know he's 7'5", 7'6". I feel like some days he's 7'8". They keep increasing his height. We know the ability was always there. He led the league in block shots last year despite only playing half the games. And we've seen the stuff that he does that is just extraordinary. Being a guy that height who can shoot threes, who is agile. But he's had injury concerns. Leading into this year, he's had injury concerns, and he missed time this year. And with that, it's like, hey, look, man, I'm going to be nervous when you have a body type that the only thing we have to reference it is a bunch of guys who have also missed significant periods of time. All the other guys who are even remotely close to Victor Wembanyama's body type are injury-prone career players. And then, not just getting past the injury part, I'm like, is he ready? We knew defensively he was already there. Again, he led the league in block shots last year despite not playing half the games. So we knew defensively he was already the guy. But I was like, for this Spurs team to take the next step, he was going to have to be MVP level. Like, that's just his reality. He was going to have to play like an MVP, like one of the 5 best players in the sport. And man, he's done it. This is one that I was wrong from game one. If you remember his first game of the season, he came out, he was hitting threes, blocking shots, he scored 30. It was just this, wow, what are we watching? It was one of those truly celebrated NBA regular season games. Media, you can't take those away from us. I promise you, like, we're going to get into that more tomorrow. But it was just this culmination of like, wow. Is he already one of the 5 best players in the sport? And it sounded a little hyperbolic on game 1, but as we've now seen the Spurs season play out, and this is one of the things I'm happy to be wrong about, guys. I love being wrong if it means we have more great basketball, we have more great sports product. I'm so glad I was wrong about Victor Wembanyama. And I'm not the guy who's going to go, let me double down on being wrong because I just really want to be right so bad that I'm just going to deny what I'm watching. And he's fantastic. He's amazing. He is still, his blocks have gone down, but that's because guys don't even try him anymore. There was a moment during the first 2.5 years of his career, really just a year because he's missed time. A year of playing basketball, guys were like, oh, I could challenge him. I could go to the rim. And they were getting everything was getting shit tossed. Like, everything was boom, just out of here. Now you've seen a guy whose impact defensively is so great, guys don't even attempt to put shots up. This is like if you are an average tall person, you're 6'1", 6'2", and I worked out of school for 7 years. I'm 6'9". If I was out there at recess with the kids playing basketball, I could just stand somewhere and they wouldn't shoot. They would not shoot because they knew the reality of them attempting to try to shoot the basketball as much as I was going to block it. They had no chance. He's doing that to professional athletes and NBA players where guys are just getting in pump fakes or dribbling around them. They don't even want to attempt it. Like, there's only a handful of games you can point to all season where his defensive impact has not been as dominant as anyone in the NBA. Like, that's how great he is defensively. And on top of that, he's giving you 25 a night. Now, is he the greatest three-point shooter ever? No, but he's 7'5", 7'6". The fact he is a three-point shooter and he keeps you honest, like genuinely keeps you honest from that range, that's enough to allow him, because he's never going to be a straight back down, back to the basket guy. I don't think his body's going to allow him to have like that kind of mass where he's never going to be confused for like Shaq, Ewing, Olajuwon, guys like that. But he's got good footwork. He has good post moves despite needing to get his strength up a little more. And the threat of the three-point shot keeps him in, like, he is a dominant offensive player. I shouldn't say dominant. He is a dominant defensive player, and he is a really, really, really outstanding offensive player. And that puts him in, if you want to say confidently who's better than him right now, for me, Giannis is injured. So after Jokic, is SGA definitively better than him? Is Luka definitively better than him? Again, I said this Spurs team, if they were going to be a real threat, like an actual, and not even to this level, I just said if they're going to be, threat's probably the wrong word, because that implies that I had them in like, could they be a title team? The Spurs variance betting them in coming into the season was solely based on how great you think this guy is going to be right away. And it was, are they going to be a middle of the pack team, or are they going to be a high-end playoff team? And they're going to be a high-end playoff team. And he's been great against Oklahoma City. And they've been great against Oklahoma City because of this guy. In the long career retrospect of, wow, you idiot, you didn't bet on the 7'6" guy who could shoot threes and block a million shots. You didn't think he was going to be great? No, I had my skepticism because we've seen the body type, maybe not quite as tall, maybe not quite as agile, but we've seen the body type fail on several occasions. We just have. I would have told you Hashim Thabit had no way to bust. Look at me now. So that is our hard left. Our hard left was we were wrong on Victor Wembanyama entering this season. Let's move over to the other top of the Western Conference, which is our hard right. It's, how do you phrase this? It's a weird phrasing. The Thunder are clearly a great team. They are defending NBA champions. They're the number one seed in their conference, and they are the prohibitive title favorites, and they should be. But when they got off to their 22-2 start or 24-2 start, whatever, like the crazy record they got off to, and I came out and was like, I don't think they're going to break the wins record, and that's okay. I don't think they're the 2017 Warriors, and that's okay. You can be the best team in basketball and not be the greatest, potentially greatest team ever. And I got a lot of immediate pushback of, and there was a lot of media who was saying, what? The Thunder, of course, they're the best team. They could compete with the Bulls, the Jordan Bulls, the Warriors with Steph, KD. And I'm like, no. They are an incredible defensive team. And I know it's controversial to call them that, but they're a great defensive team. They have an MVP player. And then they have a bunch of really good role players. Two guys who have the potential to be great on any given night in Chet and J-Dub. And J-Dub's missed some time, and Chet's missed some time, and now SGA's missed some time. And they're no longer going to be, I don't think they're eligible anymore to even get the wins record. But that's fine. I said they were never in that actual tier, despite the fact some people wanted to say, what we always do this with every NBA, any defending champ who gets off to a great start, we want to put them in conversations they're just not ready for yet. We do this with every sport. If the Seattle Seahawks get off to a 6-1 start next year, and the defense is amazing still, and Sam Darnold's playing great. Sam Darnold, if you look at his first half or second half of the season, the first half he was truly playing at an MVP adjacent level. The second half he started throwing a bunch of turnovers. But if Sam Darnold, let's do half the season, there's 8-1. And Darnold's throwing touchdowns and the defense is playing elite, that does not mean they're as dominant or as great as the Legion of Boom Seahawks with Russell Wilson. But we're going to put them there. It doesn't mean they're as great as some of those New England teams. But people are going to put them there. We always are going to overrate the champ when they get off to a great start. But the reality of why that stuff is so rare and so impressive, Jordan having 2 3-peats is a reason why other guys don't, even guys who have multiple titles. Tim Duncan's one of the, you could argue, one of the 5 greatest players ever. Never went back-to-back. Like, to win consecutive championships, that's fucking tough. It's hard to do. There's a reason why it is reserved for all-time teams and rare and special occasions. And that's okay. If you saw the 2017 Warriors, teams that just repeated, get a superstar, and just boom, 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 and they just run through the league. If we saw that all the time, it wouldn't be special. LeBron doing what he did in the Eastern Conference. It wouldn't be special if everybody could do it. It wouldn't be special if several people did it. Getting there in the NFL, winning back-to-back Super Bowls. We remember those teams. A lot of guys get one. A lot of teams get one. But going back-to-back makes you special. Going to 3 straight makes you elite. We remember the team that went to 4 straight and they didn't win a single one of them in the Buffalo Bills. This stuff is rare. This stuff is unique. It does not happen often, and that's good for the sport. I saw a tweet the other day, and it said, look, I want to say that I watched the greatest ever of something. And I agree with it. Like, I want to say, I love the fact that I get to say, I watched Steph Curry from the start of his career to the end of his career. I remember the Madison Square Garden 54 points where he put his stamp out there. I remember the OKC game pulling up just past half court, boom, hitting the 3. I got to watch the greatest shooter ever. I got to watch LeBron James be this super dynamic athlete, one of the 2 to 3 greatest players ever. I got to watch Shaquille O'Neal be this dominant, overbearing big man, just dunking on everybody. I'm glad I got to see those and got to witness those. But they wouldn't be special. And that's what this tweet is referencing. Is like, I want to say that I watched the greatest. I got to watch all these great things, but I don't want to put stuff in a category that's not there for it. If every great big man is not Shaq, every great big man is not Hakeem, every great big man is not Tim Duncan. That's why they're special. That's why they're legendary. That's why they're revered as top 10 players. Not every 2-guard who scores 30 a night is Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan. They're special. They're unique. They don't happen often. So this Thunder team, they're great. They are the favorites to win They are the favorites to win a title. They should be. SGA is an MVP. Defense, amazing. Great coach, great system, everything about them. But don't put them in conversations with teams that are once in a lifetime potentially. That's my hard right. I was right about the Thunder. They are a great team. They are not an all-time.
I mean, if you want to be a part of one of the coolest, most unique communities, don't forget to like and subscribe.